It's just fun. In,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Oh,
in
yeah.
my mind, you know what I mean? Like, it's not monumental or something. So, if you've been here before, you'll know that Corey has returned. But this is Tony's first appearance. Both guys are from the Cracked Skull podcast, a show primarily about, go ahead and reveal.
Whiskey, laughter, and bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, I meant the...
Oh, so,
the prop, if you will.
We do have liquids with us today.
It's a prop?
I don't think it's a prop.
I mean, when it comes into the scene, it's, it's a prop.
Well, technically, yeah, it would be a prop.
It's not iced tea.
So that would be, I guess that would be make it more of a prop as if it was fake. But I mean, fake, I appreciate you guys for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining for the first time.
We did bring you a gift.
Oh,
so this is a little bottle of.
What you're partaking in?
No.
Oh,
this is something totally different.
Okay.
This is from High Banks Distilling here in Columbus.
Oh, okay.
And it's a bottle called Raiders of the Lost Oak.
I like that. That's funny.
Yeah. So.
A little tongue in cheek, and we were like,
That'll help you get over your ankle later.
I was gonna say it reminds me in scent of rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
Here, can you
We'll
place
put
that
that
back?
back.
Thank you. So this is completely unrelated to the topic at hand, which is Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
But I am gonna say, due to the name of the drink, probably something that, well, potentially something you guys will disagree with, but I could never really get into Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
It was not something I thought was as acclaimed as many people say, but I am willing to give it another go for the channel's sake.
Right. I didn't like the last movie that came out, the 5th version.
Okay.
Where it was mostly
anything
CGI or AI
past,
or however they did it.
What? Original 3.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
After that, it's not worth watching.
Yeah, Crusaders was the best one.
Well, I just mean, like, even from 1, I was like, I watched it.
Yeah.
But, anyway, after the ad read and after the open rolls, we are going to talk about Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Whether it's your first time here or you're a regular here at Mr. Super Oz, I just want to thank you for tuning in to the channel. It exists because I, Oz, from the channel Mr. Super Oz, I wrote a 68-page graphic novel called Everlasting Survivors. Volume 1 is called All Day Long. If you follow the link in the description of this video, you can get yourself hats, shirts, posters, all kinds of fun things. But most importantly, you can get the story itself. And the more people that pick up the story, the greater the chances are that there can be continued adventures with these heroes. If you could, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, enjoy. This actually is kind of a reference to the Indiana Jones thing, but one of the main reasons I'm going to rewatch it is because my mind definitely plays tricks on me, because I remembered enjoying this movie more in my memory than I did upon the rewatch. While I didn't dislike it, it was just like things weren't hitting to the way that I recall. But you know, that's also what happens when you. I think timing has a lot to do with things.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you watch it for the first time, you're not quite aware of where those jokes are going to land and how they're going to land. And, you know, so the second time you watch it, you're like, oh, I know that joke's coming up. Yeah. And then you're like, oh.
Take some of the fizzle away from
it. That really wasn't that funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I thought there was a specific gag going around Jean Girard that I was like, okay, this is going on far too long, in the fact that I don't find it funny that he's married to a dude. Like, okie dokie.
Okay, and?
Yeah, exactly. And that was my point. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, not exactly my taste,
Right.
but whatever. I do like the relationships between primarily Bobby and Cal.
Right.
Like my
Yeah.
goodness, that friendship was, especially when it tattered. But
Right.
even before that, it was great. Given that Ricky Bobby, and his dad Reese had a strained relationship, and by that I mean his dad pieced out for
Yeah.
10 years, came
Yeah.
back and was like, see you as an adult.
Went got cigarettes.
It's like, oh, you're now getting good. Hey.
Yeah, and so him having that, Ricky Bobby having that stand-in, that person he could rely on was great. And then we lost it. I was like, oh man, that's when, especially over a woman that we all could see was only here for one primary reason, which is you're on top.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't know. There's me and Will Ferrell have a contentious relationship.
Okay.
So my favorite Will Ferrell movie is Stranger Than Fiction,
Okay.
which is, in my opinion, not a Will Ferrell movie. It's just a spectacular movie.
Right.
He just
Whereas,
happened to be in it.
oh yeah, and he has a great performance with him. But like something that I feel like is a very Will Ferrell movie is Step Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that's once again something that I just don't have that same affection for, because of, well, I'll say Jim Talia jokes.
Yeah.
And
Project.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and then there was one that my wife and I tried watching it. It was their Sherlock Holmes.
Oh,
Watson.
I did not watch. How was it?
And we got maybe 5 minutes in it, and I went, "Yeah, I'm done."
Mm-hmm.
Like the stupidity. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're catering to the extremely lowbrow humor on it, and you have to have that sense of, like, this is the only thing I know how to laugh at.
Sure.
Right.
Well, and oftentimes I wonder, would it be funnier to me if I was in some way impaired?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be drunk or high or whatever the case may be, would that change my perception of something I'm not currently enjoying?
I don't know.
Well, of course, yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's-
That would be a good argument for it, but then, well, I mean, technically now you could try watching it while high, because Ohio, you can smoke recreational.
I don't know. It's
But
just
that's just like,
no. I understand.
I'm-
My thing is though, and I'm not trying to get political on this subject or anything, but whatever, it came up. So my perception has always been, when it comes to illicit activities, is it doesn't have to be illegal for me to choose not to participate.
Okay.
Like,
Mhm.
and so whether something is deemed legal or illegal, it's my personal choice not to do something
Oh,
that
yeah.
I already wasn't going to do. So, because like, let's say for instance that checking somebody out wasn't illegal. I'm pretty sure I still wouldn't send somebody to the checkout,
Right.
because that's not exactly
yeah,
something I want to personally live with.
Right.
yeah.
So, now obviously there are exceptions to everything. If somebody's trying to check you out, then that. By the way, I use checkout when it comes
Yeah.
to that conversation, especially when it's the self checkout, because it's extra
Right.
entertaining talking about like stores and such.
Well, it's like the movie How High. I don't partake, but I love watching How High.
Oh, okay.
It's great. Great movie.
Well, the song itself of I was gonna do such and such, but then I got high.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't, but my goodness, that thing is funny.
Great, yeah, it's a great song.
Oh yeah.
Afro Man.
Afro Man, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. When I hear it, I tend to think about this high school hijinks film called Perfect Score,
Mm-hmm.
where Chris Evans and a bunch of other folks try and steal the answers to the
Mhm.
SATs.
Oh, that's right.
And
Wow,
it's crazy because that guy
I haven't
has
seen that in a long
forever,
time.
yeah. But that guy has blossomed so much that I even said in the Deadpool and Wolverine review, I feel like Chris Evans has the ability to feel like different human beings. Like, because I don't think Steve Rogers
played by Chris Evans, and Johnny Storm, played by Chris Evans,
Mm-hmm.
are even the same Chris Evans. I'm like, how'd you do that?
No.
Right. Well, it's like Christian Bale. Everyone's like, "Oh, Christian Bale's the best Batman," and I was like, "I remember when he was a swing kid."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a lot of range as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also a lot of method actors have a lot of range.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I know that there's some controversy when it comes to method actors with how far down that rabbit hole they go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, how far are you willing to go for that role? And
Well-
that's the...
Well, I was going to say, and when it comes back to Talladega Nights, I just felt like so many of the people were just friends having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Which, while, like I said, the movie itself might be not spectacular or amazing, but it really helps me have a good time seeing these people
He's having fun.
having fun.
Yeah.
And it's actually something I feel like is a good trait of Adam Sandler, always hiring his buddies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because, Adam Sandler's not making, a masterpiece, but you can always see him and his friends are having a good time, which
Yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah.
is valuable in and of itself.
Well, and then it also kind of reminds me of Clerks.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Where there was just that natural chemistry on set between all of the actors.
Yeah.
And it just played off so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those, wow. So they don't necessarily have to be the biggest or best actors,
Yeah.
the most well known.
Mm-hmm.
But
If you have
those that are
chemistry with
comfortable.
somebody outside of what you're doing,
Yeah.
makes it easier to do it.
Yeah, the first scene that really turned me off in the film was the praying to sweet baby Jesus. And it's not even the praying to baby Jesus that made me upset, but the fact that Ricky Bobby and his wife endorsed and encouraged the children to be disrespectful to the grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Ships metals off the bridge.
I do think that they redeemed that issue in the end when the grandmother got them in line.
Mm-hmm.
And so that part was important, but it was the first thing where I was like, I'm not having a good time with this.
Right.
I was just like, I don't even like these children.
Yeah, it's
Rats.
like they had a couple of funny one-liners in it. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
yeah, Spider Monkey
Like,
and all that, yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun, just, to randomly shout,
We do it
while
too,
working.
also. Yeah.
Right. And so if it wasn't for the channel and me analyzing every piece of the medium that I'm partaking in,
Mm-hmm.
I'm certain that I would not have let it get to me so much so. Like, it's something that I could easily just let slide away
Right.
if I wasn't taking furious notes while
Oh, yeah,
doing
you're like,
everything.
oh, wait.
Hey,
What
bad,
the hell's
bad.
going
Yeah,
on?
exactly.
Yeah.
And so that is the change in mentality whenever I watch anything since the channel has existed is I come at things from a different perspective. I don't just I can remember a few weeks ago I was so tired from a long day at work that I was supposed to be watching a show for the channel that is going to get reviewed in the fall. And I just didn't feel like taking notes, so my wife and I pop on a movie, and she was like, this is so weird watching a movie and you not taking notes. And so while we're watching, I get lost in thought, and I'm like, how can I make this work without taking notes? And that's what led to the concept of the channel that just recently came about called The Catch Up,
Mm-hmm.
where I did 3 movies in one. And
Interesting.
and so they were much shorter reviews because I didn't take notes. And with that, and they're recent, so I was catching up on recent movies I didn't watch for the channel. And so I just have this innate thing about me where I can't just do something for fun. I don't know if it's because of the life the way I grew up, and my father was always like, oh, let's go bale the hay and take care of the cow, because everything's a means to survive or get ahead.
Yeah.
And so it's probably a lot to do with it, but like I can't just do things to do them. Like, for instance, I don't know if either of you have ever played Dungeons and Dragons. Have you?
No, I have never played D&D. I started off with AD&D.
Okay. So I
Talking about background.
I have
stories. And
I have been impolite to many a friend of mine who played D&D,
Right.
but not for the playing of it, but for the time invested in development and story without trying to make money from it. I was like, come on, guys! If you're gonna go this in depth with thought process and stuff, why wouldn't you try and sell it as a story?
Well, it's because it's for the love of the game.
I understand. Like I said, but that's my struggle of not being able to just give my time to something casually,
Now-
for fun or whatnots.
Now, there are a lot of pre-made worlds, and you can run, little campaigns off of it. And you can buy those. People create them all the time, and they sell them. It's those people that create a brand new world, and they develop the lore on it. Everything else, like, that is just down to the nitty-gritty on things that you would never question. And you're like, wow.
Yeah, I just
That there, yeah, you should sell that.
exactly, yeah. And so, like, I've sat in on people playing. This was during a time in my life when I drank too much and was sad,
Mhm.
and I was sitting there drinking, and I'm like, man, you guys should be focusing on your own thing, not fun times. I'm like, and I know that's ludicrous. Like, fun is good, just have fun, but I just can't let myself just have
Right.
fun. And so that, I don't know, I just thought it was interesting the takeaway, because, like, personally, I give the movie a 3 out of 5. I think it's fine.
Mhm.
Like, it's a more positive than negative score, but like I said, I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that I can't just focus on, oh, I'm having a good time. I always want to, like, all right, better, always better,
Yeah.
always more, and so I don't know, it's
It
just
seemed
crazy.
like he used the same format for everyone. Like
For sure.
he ran like 4 or 5 of those movies in a row that were all sports related movies.
Yes.
It was like Kicking and Scream at Talladega Nights.
Mhm.
There was a basketball semi-pro. That was it.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
Blazing.
Blaze of Glory.
There it is. Yeah. There was like 4 of those right in a row, and then he did that documentary where he was a baseball player and switched teams like 16 times.
Oh, I never see this.
Yeah, he went and played for spring ball. Like the first team he played for was the White Sox, and halfway through he got traded to the other side.
Huh.
They went and changed jerseys and came out and batted for them, and then
Oh, that's
got in a
pretty
helicopter and flew to another stadium, and it was like in 24 hours he played for like 6 different teams.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
It was
'cause
pretty
I-
neat.
Yeah, I did not.
He
I
actually
don't know about that.
batted and played outfield and stuff like that, first base or something. I can't
Nice.
remember.
That'd be fun to watch.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's
But he was
just
mic'd up the entire time.
yeah. I
So-
mean, that in and of itself is quite the idea. To just be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do all this stuff in such a tight period.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, so what? Okay, before I ask the question, I want to say I really miss Michael Clark Duncan.
Yes.
I think that guy
Yeah.
Yeah.
is sorely
Green
missed
Mile,
in
yeah, it's-
in pop culture. My goodness.
The deep voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what was your general feelings toward Talladega Nights? Whoever wants to go first.
Let me go first.
I mean, it's something that's fun and stupid to watch if you're just not wanting to really engage your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you just want
It's background noise.
something on for background. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, are you going to be super invested in it? Not really.
Until you get to the punchlines, like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Yeah, it's like,
It's the punchlines
yeah.
that really suck you into it.
Yeah.
So, all around, if it's on TV, I might stop.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely a good way of thinking about it, because I haven't had cable or whatever TV
Oh,
provider
same.
since
We
2014.
stream everything at my house.
And
Yeah,
so
we stream also, and it's like we have to physically search for something to watch.
Yeah.
right, and but what I was gonna say is with that mindset of like the stop worthy material, I think this does fall into that. Because
Yeah.
if I had a remote, like let's say I was at my in-laws' house and I'm flipping channels, because
Oh, yeah.
old people they love
HBO,
Yeah.
all of that.
So
You're like, all right,
Look
click,
at the
click,
TV guide
click.
close in the
Exactly.
And you're like, all right, cool, this is on. I don't feel like going after anything else, but watch it.
Exactly, and I think that's a great way of looking at it in both perspectives,
Mhm.
both the one-liners and the stop ability to get the one-liner. So I think that's a great way of looking at the value of this film.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of hits it nail right on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it has that perfect, like, I know I'm going to enjoy it enough to where if I keep looking, I might regret the whole, I just should have stayed.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies, if it's like on TBS or something, you know they're not going to cut it up.
Yeah, that's true.
Majorly on it. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you watch a war movie and there's blood scenes that they'll cut it and stuff like that, but it's like, you know they're going to play it through.
Mm-hmm.
So you always catch it on something. So
That's good. That's good. That's good
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah, I just don't. I so often dismiss even the concept of traditional TV that I forget that.
And, well,
people are
entertainment consumption in general.
So, yeah, that's right.
Like, just listening to the radio in a vehicle.
Mhm.
Because now most people either listen to Sirius XM or they have their phones connected to their vehicles and they're listening to either YouTube, YouTube Music, Apple Music, Spotify.
Amazon's got their own music too. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazon does. You know, and I kind of lost train of thought.
Well, it's okay. It's just this movie it fits within that old mindset of
Yeah.
is the way I feel like it was going with that. Whereas in the now, seeking it out might be more challenging than to stop by and stick with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand.
yeah, it's not his first movie. His co-star. It's not his first time being.
John C. Reilly.
Thank you. In a NASCAR movie.
Oh, really?
He was in Days of Thunder.
Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
Yep.
Whose team was he on?
He was on Tom Cruise's team.
Yeah.
He was the
He was a mechanic.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, I have to go back.
I'm trying
Look,
to.
something we got to fix. And Robert Duvall kicks the car. And he's like, I don't. Buck. Buck was the dude's name.
Okay.
I don't want you to spoil Buck.
I don't want you spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His dad was Robert Duvall in the previous season, race season. His dad had died,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and then he came back and was on the same team. He still stayed with the team.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Robert Duvall obviously.
Yeah.
And but it's been so long since I watched the movie. I forgot John C. Reilly was in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because it's as if he's had two separate careers. The blowing up
Almost
in
like a
comedies.
serious kind of.
Yeah, he had a serious
Yeah.
era, and then when this and
He was a country star at one point. I think that's where he kind of split off. and
Yeah.
started
it was the Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
It was,
Dewey Cox,
doing-
Walk Hard.
Yeah, walk hard. Yeah, walking hard.
yes,
Yeah.
walk hard. Yes, I think that was the change in his career, but
Yeah.
I actually liked his more serious role.
Yeah.
It's crazy the difference between
Mm-hmm.
before and after, but yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like Days of Thunder. Honestly, I like Tom Cruise. I think that he gets a lot of.
I don't have a
flack.
problem with his movies. I have a problem with his personality
Sure.
outside of the movies.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying Senior Scientology is where it's at, but like his movies, there are far more hits than misses in my mind.
He makes movies to be entertaining, and I think the vast majority of his movies are entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought Top Gun Maverick was really good. Like I think I even gave it a spectacular score.
The Reacher movies.
Reacher?
Yeah.
I think they suffer from Reacher the TV show existing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
had
But if you have ever read the books,
Mhm.
the Reacher in the TV series, that's Reacher,
oh sure.
not little Tom Cruise.
and
And it's like,
this tall.
never mind.
I was gonna say, aren't you guys similar in size?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
I think he might be an inch shorter than me, but
Okay.
I heard he's not very tall.
He's about Alan height.
Alan, you have a friend named Alan. Every
Yeah.
time you say Alan, you have to do this.
There you go.
So,
Yeah, I like that. Well, thank you for joining. Oh wait, neither one of you gave your overall scores for the film. Please.
Oh.
out of 5?
Yeah, out of 5.
Do we do half points?
people do whatever they want. Nobody ever listens to me when I say I don't do halvesies. So legitimately, do whatever you
We do
want.
halvesies on our show for whiskeys. And
For
stuff
sure.
Like that. So I think we're contemplating doing quarters because it gets to that point where it's like, it's not really a half, it's not really a downgrade, it's kind of in the middle. So,
Yeah, I always just round, but I don't stop you from doing what they do.
I think I'm about a 3. I mean, it's one of those movies you can put on.
Yeah.
If you're like cleaning the house.
Well, and that's the funny thing is,
if you want
I
to sit
don't
and play on
actually
your phone
consider.
for a while.
I don't actually consider 3 bad.
Yeah.
Because 3 out of 5, like I said, that's majority positive.
Well,
Yeah.
3 out of 5 ain't bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like the song goes.
Yeah.
So
I'm about a 3 on it. I think the one-liners keep you invested in it.
absolutely.
The story is there, with the redemption with your father, the reconnecting with your father.
Absolutely.
And the redemption of the kids coming back,
Yeah.
grandma had to raise the kids, right?
Grandma's law.
Yeah. But I think that's where it kind of lives in my head. I mean, it's something, if it's on, cool. If it's not on, I don't go out and
Exactly,
search for
yeah.
it.
Like I said, it's not.
It's not a John Wick or anything for me.
So what I was gonna say, to me, it's not in Will Ferrell's tip tops, but it's definitely not at the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, yeah.
I think the other guys does it better.
Oh my!
Well, the other guys,
Yeah.
I'm still a huge fan of Elf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elf was a great movie. Yeah, well, yeah. So he's got, like I said, he's got levels.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This ain't in the top level, but ain't in the bottom level.
Yeah.
Because there's a Will Ferrell movie I hate that I bought. I think it was called Downfall
Okay.
or Down something. It was really bad. I'll pop up the picture. But it was him and Julia Louis-Dreyfus as a married
Seinfeld. Yeah.
from what's that?
Seinfeld. She's from Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yes. They're a married couple, and so I see these 2 characters
Mhm.
or actors, and I think, oh, this will be funny because they do funny things.
Right.
It's not funny at all. I watched the entire film. I'm like, did I laugh once? No. I hate this.
Wasn't he in the movie called like Betting on the House or something where they ran
The
a
House
casino?
Always Wins or
The House
something.
was yeah.
Something like that.
They ran a casino out of their house.
Yeah,
That was
what was the name of that one?
that was that the House was a different wife, but it also was a struggle to find. I think it may have had like a handful more comedy than the one with him and the Seinfeld lady was they were going on vacation with their kids to a ski resort, and I'm like, okay, shenanigans can ensue.
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
No.
We're just one skiing.
So, now, I think probably one of the better movies that he has done recently has to be Daddy's Home.
Oh, I liked both of those. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I
one
think
day,
that there.
one day that'll definitely be an All or Nothing for the channel.
Mhm.
I don't know how much you watch, but All or Nothing on the channel is where I take a franchise and I grade everything within it.
Mhm.
Sometimes I split it up if it's really big. Like, for instance, coming this fall / beginning of next year, I've divided Star Wars into the prequel trilogy, the original trilogy, and the sequel
sorry.
trilogy over a 3-month period to figure out what lives and what dies of the bunch. So
Man,
that's
that's
and as a further elaboration, that's just me kidding because I don't actually have the power to kill anything.
Right.
Movie wise.
Right.
But
You're
yeah,
canceled. Right.
yeah. But it's just a fun little gag on the channel where
okay.
everything with or the majority has to get 3 and above to be all of it survives, and if it doesn't, then none of it lives.
Wow.
I kind of feel bad for the sequel trilogy,
Yeah.
and
It'll be my first time watching
that
the second and third version of the sequel trilogy.
Okay.
Because I watched The Force Awakens in theaters. It's the last movie that I went to with my parents in theaters, and because it was like one of these things where I grew up, we all watched Star Wars. Hey, let's go watch this, and then we all walked out. And we're like, what was that?
Yeah.
and they're kind of like,
So then we stopped watching Star Wars.
was that? Did we really just watch? What?
Yeah.
But yeah, so what is your score for Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby?
I'd give it a weak 3.
Okay. So we all agree on the film being fine, which is yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Now, granted, I've only spent 1 day with you, and we've hung out 2 or 3 times,
Mhm.
but in my mind, you guys would have given higher marks, because I often say on the channel that I'm bad with comedy, and I always blame
my comedy
myself.
level's so high.
So I was
Yeah,
I was blame myself when I think that a comedy isn't hitting hard.
Oh, I have to belly laugh. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's my if I start belly laughing, I'm like, okay, I'll watch this over and over and over.
Now for
So-
me, Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
yeah.
upper echelon comedy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Even though
Yeah.
it is just random. dick
Well,
fart
it
jokes.
is Dick and Fart shows,
But it's
for back then.
yeah.
And they were saying things that you really can't say
No,
now
you can't-
because
you
you
can't
get
make a movie
canceled
now.
so quick.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, one of the things that sticks out with me when it comes to Mo Brooks is the not himself, but the film itself's referential humor.
Oh,
Because-
they're so self-deprecating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's Young Frankenstein.
hmm
Wow, can I speak today?
Yeah. No, you have problems too.
We did a lot of work
Yeah, we did.
yesterday.
Yeah.
But they were making fun of itself in there, and then the opening sequence to Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah, let's hit the village
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
Leave us alone, Mel Brooks.
Well, I was gonna say in Spaceballs, where they're watching the tape,
Oh yeah.
and then what is this? This is now.
This is now.
You mean right now? No.
they're waving their arms? They're doing
That was then.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, that's top quality
how-
stuff.
how he does it. It's just like
Yeah.
Absolutely.
His head's on backwards.
surrounded by assholes.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Thank you for
You're welcome,
joining
sir.
me for this.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
So-
you, sir.
Before we leave,
Yes.
we do have a thing we like to do.
Okay.
And it's in your honor,
Oh,
honestly,
interesting.
because here I knows where I'm going with this. So you were on our show,
That is correct.
yes, a millennium ago. We need to have you back up.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're not a connoisseur of high proof whiskeys.
That is correct.
Yes. Which we did give you. It's like 100 proof. It's not. It'll be good for a good night sipper and stuff like that.
Yeah. Don't drink it all in one go.
Which unfortunately is what we're gonna do because my friend here, when he came up, he downed a half a glass of whiskey in one shot. And
Yep.
unfortunately, or
Yep.
fortunately for what you're thinking here, we have a term for it. It's called doing a Nas.
I like that.
So, Tony, my
Doing a
friend,
Nas.
doing a Nas.
that was awesome. I'm so.
You should be honored because
I am.
we do it a lot.
Absolutely.
We did it yesterday out in the, we're building a studio out in my backyard. We're moving it from the front room.
Yep.
We bought a big shed out in the backyard and we're building it up and it's what 85% done. I mean we still keep throwing
80.
ideas out at 85% done.
Because we keep changing things.
we
as
keep
we're
changing
going.
things. So it will eventually get done one of these years.
You're 2025.
Yeah. So but last night we were recording.
Yeah.
And then was when we did the promo video and
I
stuff like
love
that.
it. Yeah, that was cool.
And before that we were like, let's do an Oz.
Oh, I
We'll
love
throw
it.
it in there, and we
Well, we
unfortunately
had like that much left in the glasses.
Yeah.
And I think we're only doing 100 proof, so
Only.
This is 94. 90. It's 90.
I mean for us,
If we're not drinking 120 proof, it's
yeah, like that little bit there, that wouldn't even
yeah.
do anything.
Got
We
it.
just did a blend bottle. One of our favorite distilleries was 122 proof.
I think mine's 122.
I think ours is 121.
121.
Yeah. So we went and they had 4 barrels set up, and you could go and taste test all the barrels,
Oh god.
and then depending on that, you either pour your own bottle from that one barrel,
Yep.
or blend two or three together. And so we blended 2 together, and it's sitting at the house right now with our sticker on.
That's
So,
very cool.
Yep.
That was a long,
It was a 2 hours at the distillery.
For sure.
long time at the
Yeah.
distillery, and we're just going.
Yep. So I appreciate you having us on again.
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
No,
Great.
absolutely. And
I had fun.
what?
Yeah.
Thank you. I enjoy having you guys. What I was going to say is, if you would like to make this a more regular thing, I know
Definitely.
that you're closer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just we'll go over what's to come and we'll figure out what works.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
But yeah, with that, we're going to close this out and come back all week for more content.
Okay,
See you guys.